everybody, and welcome to this special of Mercury transiting in Cancer. So this year, Mercury is in Cancer from the 29th of June to the 19th of July when it enters Leo. So when Mercury, the planet of communication and intellect, which has an impact on how we think, communicate, make decisions and handle our day-to-day affairs, the things that we do, interacting with neighbours and stuff like that, and our family and lovers and friends, social media and things. So when Mercury's in Cancer, Cancer is known for its emotional and intuitive energy, and it can bring a time of deep inner reflections and heightened sensitivity. So astrologically, the placement of Mercury in the sign of Cancer has a strong emphasis on nurturing, emotional connection, intuition, and it can give us the ability to connect with ourselves and others on a profound emotional, spiritual, psychological, sensual level as well. This transit encourages us to trust our instincts and tap into our intuitive wisdom when making decisions. It also highlights the importance of nurturing ourselves and those around us as we seek to create harmonious and supportive relationships. And during this time, we may find ourselves more in tune with our emotions, expressing our feelings with compassion and seeking emotional connections that provide a sense of security and comfort. So it's a time to focus on creating and nurturing a harmonious environment within our homes. We may feel a stronger desire to declutter and organise our living spaces and make them more comfortable and kind of conducive to relaxation. Taking care of our family and loved ones can become a priority as we seek to provide them with a sense of emotional security and support. This transit also reminds us of the importance of self-care and finding comfort in simple pleasures, and encourages us to prioritise our well-being and engage in activities that bring us joy and relaxation, whether it's indulging in a soothing bath, enjoying home-cooked food with loved ones or friends or on our own, or simply curling up with a good book, listening to a good podcast, watching a good show, whatever, focusing on practical matters even that can increase your sense of home. Family, self-care and comfort can bring a sense of fulfillment when Mercury is in Cancer. On the worldly materialistic level, it's a time to focus on our financial stability and create a secure foundation for ourselves and our loved ones. It's a time to assess our financial goals, our budgeting and investments, and make practical decisions to safeguard our financial well-being. And we can find ourselves, paying closer attention to our domestic affairs, such as managing our household expenses, organising our home and finances, making improvements to our living space. And this transit just reminds us to prioritise the practical aspects of our material lives, ensuring that we have a solid and comfortable foundation for ourselves and our families, our lovers, whoever we hold dear to us. So, our foundation, our home where we sleep at night, where we live and socialise, but also our home where we live, our mind, our intellect, our intuition, taking care of our psychological, spiritual and emotional traumas is a good use of this Mercury in Cancer as well. On the political level, things can get more sentimental and people can have more pride, national pride and desire to safeguard the well-being of their country and stuff like that. So because we can feel the strongest sense of loyalty and dedication and a desire to preserve our nation's traditions and our cultural heritage. So the protective nature of Cancer here can manifest in an increased emphasis on national security in terms of political leaders and governments, feeling the need to ensure the safety and welfare of their citizens. Family values can also come to the forefront, so there can be emphasis on policies and initiatives that support and strengthen families, such as healthcare, education and social welfare programs. So overall, the political atmosphere that's added with Mercury being in Cancer. And remember, there's always other astrological transits and stuff going on as well as, psychological factors and the fact that we've got free will for the most part on Earth. Although, I know that a lot of people live in oppressive countries, and in some ways, even in the Western countries that are said to have more freedom, things are getting more and more oppressive in terms of, what you're allowed to say and stuff like that as well. So yeah, it gives us a sense of unity, protection, and the promotion of values that prioritise the well-being of both the nation and its citizens. On the spiritual esoteric level, it can, make it a good time for us to dig into our innermost emotions and our innermost selves. It provides a space for us to connect with our intuition through self-reflection, and this can give us a deeper understanding of our emotional landscape, our inner world, the different traits of our personality, exploring our weaknesses and strengths, and acknowledging, our scars and helping ourselves to heal. So, things that promote healing can be good to do at this time. Journaling, energy work, therapy, meditation, or research any other skill that can help you address past hurts, release emotional baggage, and create your personal growth and ongoing evolution. It encourages us to be open and honest in our communication and express our feelings more authentically and create deeper connections with our loved ones, as I said. So it's good energy for improving, working on relationships, resolving conflicts, nurturing emotional bonds and sharing with others. And it does provide, fertile ground for spiritual and esoteric practices that are centered around inner reflection and emotional healing. And it just allows us to have a deeper sense of self-awareness and emotional well-being as we confront unresolved issues. Okay, psychologically, because we can be more tuned to our own emotions and the emotions of people around us, we can perceive and understand the needs and feelings of others more better and deeper. But this sensitivity, although good, can result in mood swings, and because we can internalise and absorb the emotions of others more easily, this can just make everything a bit crazy. People just doing crazy and mad stuff. So it's important to ask for space, give space, practice self-care, forgiveness of self and others, have healthy boundaries, respect other people's boundaries, and maintain your emotional well-being, and just do things that promote emotional balance and allow you to go deeper. On the symbolic creative level, it's great for us to engage in activities that bring a sense of comfort and familiarity. On the creative and symbolic level, it can open up our imagination and inspire us to create unique emotionally charged creations, whether it's writing, poetry, a book, starting a book, maybe completing it as well, because it's only here for about 3-4 weeks at a time, and sometimes Mercury does stay in signs for 4 or 5 weeks when it's in retrograde. It goes back and forth and stuff, but typically it's in the sign sometimes for just over 2 weeks to just under 4 weeks. So we can work with this energy to embrace the power of storytelling and find creative ways to express ourselves and allow our imaginations to soar and rise, and just try and feel inspired by the present moment. Emotionally, it allows us to be sentimental. We may want to revisit the past, be more compassionate and vulnerable, which is good. It just allows us to just go to our emotional depths and offer support to those that we care about. So now I'm just going to talk about the overall positives, negatives and best use of this energy. So the positives is that it increases our intuition and it allows us to be nurturing with our words and actions, so we can have heartfelt conversations and just offer support to our loved ones, as I said. But negatively, because we can be oversensitive, we can push people away. So it's important not to take things too personally, because we can be overly sensitive right now and this can lead to overreactions. So we just need to try and be logical, walking away when need be. The best use of this energy is for self-reflection, journaling, understanding yourself and others, and just exploring the deeper meanings and nurturing yourself and others as well. So now I'm going to talk about how the following aspects that Mercury makes when it goes into Cancer this year and how they affect it. So Mercury makes a quintel to Mars. So this is a harmonious connection between communication and action. So it can help us have great assertiveness, especially in our verbal expression right now. We can be quicker in our thinking and decision making. So it's an ideal energy to use to, tackle, go for, overcome challenges and go after our goals and be ambitious. Mercury semi-square to Jupiter again brings some more challenging energy, because it can sort of like overload us and we can have difficulties in finding a balance between paying attention to detail and seeing the bigger picture. So it's important to be mindful of potential errors and misunderstandings. Mercury's trine to Saturn brings stability and practicality, allowing us to be disciplined and organised, especially in our approach to communication and thinking. It promotes us being patient and giving us the ability to focus and effectively get our ideas across, and just brings a sense of maturity and wisdom to our decision making processes and our conversations as well. Mercury sextile to Uranus allows us to think outside of the box and solve problems. It supports us in being open-minded and curious, which is good, and allows us to gain new insights and perspectives and be open to new ways. But negatively, there can be a tendency to be impulsive and restless. Mercury's trine to Neptune increases our intuition and sensitivity in communication, and as with all Neptune energy, can make us run into our intoxicating habits and self-destructive behaviours. So we just need to watch out for that, and just allow ourselves to think of other ways to understand our emotions and things that scare us, instead of numbing ourselves to our problems. And I know it can be hard. It's a lot easier said than done. I know, I understand, especially when you're in that low, deep depression and stuff, but just be gentle with yourself as well, and just try and open up to some healing and understanding by just trying to understand and love yourself for where you are at now. Because loving wanting to be better doesn't necessarily mean that, it doesn't mean you should always love yourself, regardless of, even if you're letting yourself down, because those are the seeds of love that are going to help you overcome your struggles, So it allows us to be more creative in our thinking. Mercury's trying to Neptune, and deeper in our imagination, and our dream lives may be more vivid right now, or we may just have stronger thoughts and sparks of creativity, inspiration and stuff, but we just have to try and stay grounded. And Mercury's opposition to Pluto as well can help us get lost in fantasies and illusions, adding to the Mercury's trine Neptune negative effects. Also brings power struggles, control issues and hidden agendas in communication, so people may use manipulation tactics or become excessive in their thinking and jealous and stuff, and you may become this way as well. So just try and approach any of these issues that come up with awareness and a willingness to confront deep-seated issues and experiences and situations, and this can help you grow profoundly in terms of your personal growth. Mercury square to Chiron again helps us to overcome self-criticism and insecurity, even though it can add to us having doubt in our own ideas and thoughts and stuff, but it gives us the power to overcome our negative self-talk and work on building our confidence as well. And Mercury's square to the midheaven can bring challenges in our career and public image, and also bring conflict, and there can be difficult conversations in our workplace, and these can impact our reputation. So it's important to approach situations with tact and diplomacy, and find a balance between asserting ourselves and maintaining, harmonious sort of relationships with others. So in summary, the aspects that Mercury makes when going into Cancer can make us more innovative, work with our intuition, and have more depth in our communication. The quintile between Mars and the trine to Saturn allows for clear and effective communication, and the semi-square to Jupiter just warns us about being too overconfident or excessive in our idealism and wanting things to be great and just focusing on the bigger picture and ignoring the smaller details. We have to be cautious, watch out for manipulation, impulsiveness and illusions, and power dynamics, jealousy and obsessiveness as well. So being aware of the negatives and positives can make us use the energy of Mercury in Cancer more positively. So in terms of karmic meanings, it allows us to and wants us to heal wounds that are related to the ways that we communicate and how we, express ourselves emotionally, and also wounds related to how others have communicated to us, because often it's the words that others have said that live in our minds and create self-destructive thoughts and behaviours, and what we're saying about seeds, the more seeds of negativity we have, it breeds more negativity. So, we don't need to get rid of negativity because, fear and stuff does have its advantages. But what we do need to do is plant positive seeds and at least have a balance. I aim for 51% positive. I do a lot more some days, a lot less, but on average 51%. And then, if we're rounding up to 100, it's perfection. And that's how I think about it now. I didn't used to think that way, but, this is my happy medium and I love it here. So I'm going to stay here on that one. So karmically it can bring up memories and experiences from our past lives where miscommunication or emotional suppression got in the way, hindered our ability to connect with ourselves and others in a meaningful way. And we can discover the importance of active listening, providing safe spaces and non-violent communication, which is a great tool to research, and it can just help us with understanding the needs and feelings of others. It teaches us the significance of using words wisely and thoughtfully and considering the impact on those around us. It allows us and wants us and highlights the importance of self-reflection throughout our lives and rethinking our past and healing it and learning to manage our emotional, spiritual and psychological needs and past patterns of miscommunications that have got in the way of our ability to form meaningful connections with ourselves and others are really under the spotlight here. And through learning these lessons, we can learn to communicate more effectively and build stronger relationships and create more balance in our lives and in our emotional landscape, within ourselves and in our relationships with others as well. We can improve, the stability there, and it can also karmically trigger memories and experiences related to family dynamics, childhood, nurturing, excessive nurturing, lack of nurturing, sporadic nurturing and all of that, So it can be really hard, especially when a caregiver doesn't give us the love, and a lot of the times we can blame it on ourselves or even on them, but sometimes people are only doing the best they know at the time, and this is not an excuse. It would be great if we all could just step up and not learn from our mistakes, and it didn't take in an ideal world, it would have been perfect for me not to make all the mistakes I've made in my past, to get the message. And some of us are like that, but some of us, we have to learn the hard way, learn from our mistakes, and it's fine. So just trying to be more understanding of the people that hurt you. And I know it can be hard, and this is where not taking it personally comes in, because sometimes people, the way they treat you is on them, it's not on you really, it's just the way that they are, how they were at that time. And then sometimes we let their temporary moods affect our whole life, and that robs us of our, highest potential and our emotional stability and abundance in just being happy with, because whatever abundance is to one person is not what it is to another. So it wants us to feel more more connected to our roots and our ancestry and our culture, and sometimes we reject that when we've had bad negative experiences, and that's a whole territory there. But maybe some of you may find comfort and security in familiar traditions and routines right now, and past life recollections can kind of come up as vivid dreams right now, where you may not consciously know what's going on, but you sort of just have a sense of deja vu, and themes of protection, emotional healing, and connecting with the feminine aspects of yourself, the more emotional, psychological, spiritual aspects of yourself can be, prominent in these dreams and thoughts at this time. And you can just be drawn to spiritual practices that involve healing and stressful, deep past wounds, especially towards heartbreak and rejection, abandonment and stuff like that as well, abuse. And this can help us, it gives us the energy to strengthen our emotional resilience. And it can be hard, having to deal with my own pain. It's hard to manage and get over it. And sometimes when you do the shadow and inner work, you're like, oh my gosh, will this ever end? And the truth is, it doesn't end, I'm not going to lie, but it gets easier and it just goes on in the background and automatic. Just like how your toxic thoughts are automatic, the newness becomes more automatic. So it's worth it. That's what I'm trying to say. This getting up after each failure, promoting stuff, and, just taking your time to do daily steps and taking it slow, and having been so focused on getting to the destination in my life, I'm finding just enjoying the journey is the best things, and knowing that the journey will involve still storms and ups and downs. But Mercury in Cancer encourages us to sort of like understand our emotional histories, so we can process and release our unresolved emotions from this life or our past lives, even if we don't remember them. It's a time for emotional growth, nurturing our inner child and its wounds, and finding solace in the wisdom of the past, and just becoming our inner child's friend again. A lot of the time I think as adults we can cut off the music we listen to in our youth and our ideas, and yes, some things, we can't fly, and stuff, the mad things we thought we could do as a child, but we can fly mentally, we can just upgrade these dreams and make them more realistic. It doesn't mean we have to get rid of all of our childhood ideas. No, we have to upgrade them. A lot of my things that I do now are still my childhood dreams and stuff. I still believe in love and loving everyone, but it's just in a different way. Now I know I have to love some people from afar. In fact, I know that I can only love some people if they are far away from me, and it is what it is, So it just allows us to open a doorway to our subconscious mind and our inner workings, allowing memories and experience from our past lives to, surface. And these past life recollections can provide a deeper understanding of ourselves and the patterns that have shaped our current existence, and it can make us, just sort of like make a sense of certain fears and phobias and aversions we've had throughout our lives, and a strong connections that we felt towards certain people, or strong avoidances we've had. A lot of the time these come from past lives or even current lives, things we've been heartbroken, so we avoid falling in love again because no one's going to hurt us. So we a lot of the times the reasons why we stay in toxic relationships is because we fostered this belief, because we believe that we only deserve toxic things, or we go into relationships from a place of lack, like I'm never going to give myself completely. So then this creates like avoiding the relationships where you can kind of become like in competition with your lover, and jealousies can come up and stuff. So this energy just allows us to explore ourselves and offers profound insights into why we fall into certain ways of relating to ourselves and others, and how we can get through this and undo our toxic thoughts and behaviours and relationships. It pushes us to evolve spiritually and grow towards a higher state of consciousness. And by acknowledging these karmic lessons and embracing the energy of Mercury in Cancer, we can work towards healing and finding a balance in our communication styles and emotional connection with ourselves and others in this lifetime, because we're only going to live this life once. So now I'm going to talk about how Mercury transiting in Cancer affects relationships in more depth. So in terms of family relationship, it can make us just be more open, and we may be more inclined to express our emotions. So for example, siblings who haven't been very close may find themselves sharing personal stories or seeking support during this time. But negatively, the heightened emotional sensitivity of Cancer combined with Mercury's communication style can lead to misunderstandings or overly emotional reactions within families, and miscommunications or unresolved issues can surface, requiring patience and understanding. In terms of friendships can be strengthened because we can be more open to meeting each other's emotional needs and accommodating each other's vulnerabilities, offering support and empathy. So friends could find themselves, for example, having heart-to-heart conversations about their feelings and experiences, deepening their connection. But negatively, because misunderstandings and hurt feelings can come up because we can misunderstand things right now. So it's important to be mindful with our words and actions to avoid unintentionally causing conflict and tension, and just communicate more openly and empathetically to maintain a healthy friendship, and just apologise if you lose it and you say something wrong as well, because sometimes sorry can be the hardest word to say. So in terms of co-worker relationships, it can bring more of a concern for co-workers' well-being and working on projects together, or helping team members with work as well to stop them from getting in trouble as well because of an emergency they may have had at home or something else like that. And it just builds and gives the energy for a sense of friendship and teamwork and just doing things to help each other out. But negatively, the increased emotions and sensitivities among co-workers can cause misunderstanding. So it's important to walk away before things escalate and try and be patient. Use active listening and practice some empathy and understanding. But yes, assert your boundaries, because I do know how people can be when you give them an inch and they try to take the yard or the mile. So in terms of committed relationships, it can just make us more able to express our feelings and create a deeper connection on an intimate level. So for example, you may find yourself just doing things like date night, cooking meals and surprises to deepen the bond, watching shows together, being more affectionate and tactile. But negatively, because we can be more moody, it can just lead to conflicts again. So it's just essential to be mindful of your words and actions at this time. In terms of hookup relationships, it can just lead to more meaningful interactions and deeper understanding of your needs and desires. So for example, people hooking up may find themselves being more considerate and attentive towards other people's needs. But negatively, because of the sensitivity, you can become overly attached and needy and too emotionally invested in these temporary connections, which could complicate things if everyone involved are not on the same page. So it's just important to be upfront. Don't manipulate, don't lie to get what you want, because this can bite you in the but respect boundaries, gain consent, and just be respectful with each other. People that are single may find themselves feeling more emotional and nurturing in their approach to relationships right now. They may want to seek out deeper connections with others and prioritize emotional intimacy, and this can lead to forming meaningful bonds and experience increased levels of romance and affection. But negatively, Mercury in Cancer, because it can make us more moody and vulnerable as well. We can idealise potential partners, and this can lead to disappointment if the reality fails to meet expectations. So keep grounded and don't ignore those red flags. In terms of self-partnered people, they should focus on bringing about more inner peace, so enjoying their inner peace and contentment, as well as understanding their own emotional needs and desires. Also, negatively, they can feel lonely and isolated at this time and have internal struggles. So it's important to practice self-awareness and open communication with yourself. Okay, so now I'm just going to talk about the best things to do in terms of our career, personal, spiritual and educational development. So in terms of our career, it's best to focus on working with others and networking and connecting with your colleagues and clients, and just seeking more emotional well-being and the work-life balance, and this can support your personal and professional development right now. But it's important to remember that you may face challenges in your career advancement because of your emotional sensitivity, and it can get in the way of you making logical decisions right now and handling criticism objectively. So it's important to find a balance between emotional intelligence and being rational and practical, and exploring your emotions, as well. When Mercury is in Cancer, to make sure you can navigate any obstacles that come up in your career growth. In terms of personal growth, past traumas and patterns that are holding you back can come to your, the forefront of your mind, and this can be a difficult process, but it can lead to profound growth and healing. But it's important to approach this energy with self-compassion and seek support from people you can trust if need be, and just allow yourself to be, slow into it and fall into it and be open to exploring your emotions. I know it can be, hard to do that, and you may want to run, but this energy supports us in doing this and being able to understand our thoughts and communicate with ourselves. In terms of spiritual awareness, it gives us a deeper understanding of ourselves. It can give us a stronger pull towards exploring our inner spirituality and psychology. Meditation and mindfulness practices can really nourish our soul right now and bring an increased spiritual awareness that can bring clarity and guidance, and it just allows us to tap into our inner wisdom and intuition. And it's important to embrace this period of spiritual growth by taking time to nurture our spiritual well-being, and as looking after our spiritual and emotional health and psychological needs can, have positive impacts on all areas of our life, including our relationships, educational goals, career, and our personal development as well. In terms of education, we may find ourselves more in tune with our emotions and creativity, and this can increase our learning experiences, especially those that require imagination and empathy, but it can be negative for things that require our complete focus. But it just depends on how you handle the emotional fluctuations and moodiness that can come up right now as well. So we may just have to use that extra effort to maintain academic discipline and stay focused right now. So now I'm just going to finish up with the best things for creatives, professionals, and all other people sort of to do when Mercury's in Cancer. So creatives, it's the best thing for you to do is to be, engaged in creative writing, painting, expressing, designing and stuff like that, and just expressing yourself through, whatever it is you do, whether it's poetry, design, drawing, whatever. Professionals should use this time to connect more emotionally with their clients and co-workers and boss and stuff, but in a professional way. It allows us to read non-verbal cues in the workplace better and be more empathetic towards others' feelings and short-term needs and family emergencies and stuff like that. Entrepreneurs can use this to brainstorm new business ideas or to upgrade their existing products and services and approaches to work and to your daily routine, because your daily routine as an entrepreneur is fundamental. And sometimes you don't mind burning a candle at both ends, but taking that time out to chill out and find the best work and practices for you. You know, some days you're going to get up, you're going to have weeks when you can do those 18-hour weeks, you know, but some weeks you're going to just be able to do the 8 hours, you know. So it's about knowing your periods and optimizing, doing, you know, the time when you've got that energy, do as much work as you can. So the times when you slow down, you can allow for that as well without feeling stressed, you know. So yeah, trust your gut instincts, make decisions and seek feedback from trusted mentors and advisors, and who can help you, you know, understand how you can handle your emotional connection to your work or anything else like that. Alternative healers can, you know, use different techniques such as sound therapy, Reiki, aromatherapy and other things like that, more sensual techniques, offering more nurturing and supporting, you know, sessions in a consensual and boundaried way for your clients who may be seeking emotional healing and balance during this time. And by incorporating, you know, the themes of empathy and compassion and sensitivity into your work, you can really feel more satisfied right now, and your clients can as well. Lovers should use this energy to plan cozy and intimate moments, nurture their bonds such as cooking together, sharing childhood memories and engaging in heartfelt conversations, embracing being vulnerable and expressing their love through gestures that show that they care. Singles should use this time to explore their inner emotions, understand their personal needs and desires better, practice self-love, nurture yourself and build a strong foundation of self. So Mercury in Cancer is a great time for singles to nurture themselves emotionally, build a stronger foundation of self-love and awareness, and prepare for future relationships with a deeper understanding of their own emotional landscape, exploring activities that bring you a sense of comfort and belonging, such as journaling about your thoughts or recording them with your voice or video recording yourself, you know. Whatever you feel comfortable with, encrypt those files, you know. For those of you who are security conscious, you can revisit, cherish childhood hobbies and spend time in nature. Allow yourself to feel sentimental about your past and look forward to creating new memories filled with love and connection. So yeah, by prioritising your self-discovery and emotional growth, you can develop a fulfilling relationship with yourselves before seeking companionship with others. And for those who are self-partnered, Mercury in Cancer gives you a chance to strengthen your relationship with yourself through deeper emotional exploration, self-nurturing, love reflection. Embracing your intuition and emotional intelligence can lead to a deeper understanding of your personal needs and desires. It's a time to prioritise self-love, inner growth and building a strong emotional foundation within yourself. So by creating a deeper connection with your own emotions, you can cultivate, you know, grow a sense of completeness within yourself, and, you know, allow yourself to build more happiness that comes from within and just like glowing it, you know. So yeah, that's the end of Mercury transiting in Cancer. Take care and see you next time.